Hi guys, welcome back to Gráinne's Home and Kitchen. I actually didn't intend doing a video tonight, but I decided to make this incredible curry that my daughter made for me last week. So my daughter Amanda, she's a fantastic cook and she's not afraid to try recipes. She's also very healthy and she eats good food, she eats a lot of vegan food. She's not vegan, or is she vegetarian? Like, she does eat meat, but she doesn't eat it as much as, I think we actually eat it too much. So last Sunday she invited Kieran and I up for dinner, and Ali came as well, our other daughter Ali. And this curry, I'm not kidding you, I do you know when you're craving something, when you've had something to eat and you're just craving to have it again? So I decided I would make it. So this is from a recipe book called Oh She Glows, which is a vegan recipe book. I'm not sure what nationality the author of the book is, but Amanda makes a lot of her recipes and they're absolutely delightful. So I thought I'd share this one with you. Now I'm doubling up on the ingredients because Connor, my son, who is in the last stages of training to be a paramedic, is living with me with his girlfriend, and his girlfriend Mackenzie is actually celiac. So she's also lactose intolerant, so this type of food would be just ideal for her. But you know, a 25-year-old young man, he loves to eat. He also likes to eat healthy, so I just thought if I double this up, it'll do us for dinner and we can also take it for lunch. We might even get another dinner out of it. So before I go any further, let me tell you what is in this curry. It's called sweet potato, chickpea and spinach coconut curry. So let's start. Let me start with the ingredients that are in it. I will put them in the description below, so don't worry if you don't catch them. It calls for 4 tablespoons of coconut oil. I actually just put 6 tablespoons in and then I'll see how it goes. Sometimes when you're doubling a recipe, it doesn't mean you have to double everything in the recipe, like the oils, etc. So we'll see how we get on with 6 tablespoons. If we need more, we can add it. Then we have cumin seeds. So I have my cumin seeds in here. And I'm sure you could use cumin powder if you don't have the cumin seeds. So for the recipe, it calls for 1 tablespoon. I have 2 tablespoons. And then we have a medium chopped onion. So I have the onion here. Again, I didn't do 2 onions. This was probably a little bit bigger than a medium. So I think 1 onion will be fine. It's calling for some sea salt. Oh, I forgot to do my garlic. So 3 cloves of garlic and 4 teaspoons of ginger. I have that in the fridge. I'll grab that out in a moment. And there's also tumeric and coriander. So I mixed them in here. And then for the little bit of a kick is the red pepper flakes. Be careful with these because they're very hot. And then we have a medium sweet potato. I have 2 here. A can of chickpeas. So I'll just show you the can. A can of chickpeas, there they are here. And a can of diced tomatoes. So I have a double-sized. If you're just doing a single one, just use a small can. And a can, it says light coconut milk, but I don't do very good with the light, sorry. But you could use light if you wanted to. And then you add about 5 ounces of spinach. I'll be adding about 10 ounces. Again, I will just judge that. Okay. Hi guys, as is typical in my house, everybody arrived and they're all chatting in the background, so I have to do a voiceover for this. So I've just added the coconut oil to my pan and I'm melting it, and the smell straight away, the smell of coconut oil is just so delightful compared to olive oil. But you'll see here that I am melting it, and now I'm going to add my cumin seeds. These are just so aromatic. Now I was a bit nervous to add them all at the beginning, but you'll see me add the rest of them later. Amanda told me I need to add them because she said they are such an integral part of the recipe. So what you're going to do with the cumin seeds is you don't want to, obviously you've got to be careful not to burn them, but you want to kind of brown them. They'll go like a toasted brown colour. So do keep an eye on them when they're in the oil because you certainly don't want to burn them. Now I'm adding my onions and I'm going to just sweat the onions out. Again, you don't want your onions to be overcooked. They'll become almost see-through in colour. So there you see me adding them, and I am going to just keep an eye, stir them. Again, we don't want them to burn or stick to the bottom of the pot. So I'm actually just picking up all the extra little bits to make sure I get all the onion in. So there I am sweating them out in the oil with the cumin seeds, and I can tell you the smell already is just fabulous. So now I am adding garlic and ginger. So I was a little nervous. I have the pre-pressed garlic from Costco. So you'll see there, that's how much ginger I put in. I actually had more ginger grated, and Amanda thought I had too much, and I thought it was 4 tablespoons of ginger, but it was actually only 4 teaspoons of ginger. So there I added my garlic and my ginger to the pan, and again I am just kind of sweating them out. Now I'm adding my coriander and my turmeric to the pan, and again we're just going to blend them and sweat them out also to get all the flavours out of it. So I'm just going to fry that up for a couple of minutes before I add the rest of the ingredients.
Oh, this smells good.
Yes, it does.
Everyone, I had to send Audrey the recipe. Everybody was asking me.
Yeah. Now I'm about to add the pepper flakes. To be honest, I didn't add enough. It said 1/4 teaspoon, but I was nervous that it would be too spicy, so I just put like 2 pinches in. The curry was still delicious, but it could have had a little bit more heat in it. So I would say stick to the recipe and add your 1/4 teaspoon, or in this case I probably should have added a teaspoon. Now I'm adding my sweet potato, and again we're going to combine this with the spices and the onion. So now I'm going to add the chickpeas to the pot, and the same thing, I'm going to combine them with all the spices, make sure everything is very well coated. Okay, so now I'm going to add the wet ingredients. So I'm adding my tin of tomatoes, and now I'm going to add my coconut milk. So 2 cans of coconut milk. And I'm going to mix them together. Now you will see in a moment, I contemplated what I should do with the tomatoes because Amanda had said she puts more tomato in hers, and hers was absolutely delightful, as I said. So I go back and I get another can of tomatoes, the same size, and I put the whole thing in. I think the acidity of the tomatoes really complements the coconut milk, because it probably could be a bit too heavy if you just had less tomatoes. So I'm very glad I added the extra tomato to it. And you can see I'm being cautious, and then in the end I just go, oh, you know what, and I just throw the whole thing in, which if anyone has watched my videos in the past, you'll know that's kind of the way I cook. So now I'm just putting on the lid, and I am bringing the curry to the boil, and I'm going to simmer it for half an hour. I will stir occasionally. You'll see there it's coming to a nice boil, but I do keep stirring it to make sure it doesn't stick. Okay guys, I'm going to give you a tip for cooking basmati rice. A lot of people cook basmati rice and it goes clumpy, and this is how I found that it works best. So I'm going to do 2 cups because again I want to have some leftovers, and then I put them into a strainer and then I rinse them. Basmati rice is very starchy, so you have to rinse it to get a lot of that starch off. Okay, so I've given it a good rinse. You won't get the water to be completely clear, but just you see how much I did there, that should be fine. Now the secret here is, so a lot of people wash their basmati rice, and then it usually calls for 2 cups of water per 1 cup of rice. But what people forget is that there's actually a lot of water in the rice after you've washed it. So I don't put 2 cups per cup of rice. I always reduce it by about a half to 1 cup, depending on how much rice I'm cooking. So for this, because I've rinsed it and it's quite wet, I'm going to put, and it wasn't quite 2 cups, but let's say it was 2 cups, I'd put about maybe 3 1/4 cups of water in it. But then there's also another tip when you're cooking it. Okay, so now I've taken out my saucepan. I'm going to add my rice to that, and I'm going to add my water. And maybe about 1/4 cup. So instead of 4 cups, I'm just adding about 3 1/4. Now I'm going to take it over to my stove. Now I'm going to add some salt. And I'm going to bring it to the boil, but you do not want to let it boil over. So just bring it to the boil. As it's getting closer to the boil, reduce the heat. Okay guys, so you can see here that it's just starting to come to the boil. You don't want to let it over boil. So now I'm going to reduce it down because I don't want it to come out over the top. And I'm going to simmer it for about 20 minutes. I turn it off at the end for maybe about 10 minutes and just let it sit there, and it'll continue to cook. So just take a look there, now it's just simmering, and that's exactly the way you want it. You don't want it to come to the boil. Okay guys, so we're about 10 minutes to the end, and now I'm going to turn off my ring, but I'm not going to open the pot again. I don't want to let any of the steam out, so I'm just going to let it sit there until my curry is ready. I'm just going to show you. Connor, look. So I'm just going to fluff it up. Look at how beautiful that is. It's not sticking. Connor Lowe is carrying on behind me here. So it's not sticking together, not clumpy, just perfect. So I hope that gives you some tips for cooking basmati rice, because I know some people say they can't get it like this. Okay guys, I'm going to serve. So we have our rice. You see how nice and fluffy our rice is? It's actually so late, we shouldn't be eating this late at night. But everybody came in and out and I couldn't do my video. And Connor, of course, is making noise in the background.
Sorry.
Okay. So there we have our rice. Now I'm going to get the curry. You're going to add your spinach about 5 minutes before you're ready to serve, so it has time to wilt. So here is the curry all ready to go. I sprinkled some coconut on top, and I can assure you it was absolutely delicious. Every plate was cleaned after dinner. So guys, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel, I would appreciate it, and hopefully I will have another video for you soon. Take care.